You find a way, baby. Fever down.
Ah, man.
The sold-out roar inside American Airlines Center was supposed to be the soundtrack to Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers, the most anticipated rookie clash of the season. Instead, word of Clark's aggravated groin spread like wildfire 2 days earlier, and the headlines flipped from dream matchup to do-or-die gut check.
I think for us, it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs, and they made their run in that third quarter, and honestly, just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working.
Yet the 20,049 who bought tickets kept them, proving they were here for women's basketball, not just one superstar. Dallas hurried the game into the NBA arena because they sensed history. Indiana walked in wearing the bruises of a 22-point thrashing by Los Angeles less than 24 hours prior. The stage looked perfect for a Wings ambush. What followed rewrote every script the pundits had prepared.
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It really is a day-to-day thing. And I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wealth.
Coach Stephanie White ripped up her own playbook first. She slid defensive spark plug Aari McDonald into the starting lineup, freeing Kelsey Mitchell to hunt spots on the wing and letting veteran point guard instincts run the offense from somewhere new. Out went hesitation. In came straight-line speed. On the opening possession, McDonald burned past 2 defenders, dumped a baseline pass to Nalissa Smith, and Indiana never trailed again in the quarter.
I feel a disappointment for them more than anything because, you want them to see her at her best and us at our best. I hate that for fans.
Dallas had planned for Clark's gravity. They were suddenly chasing a blur named Aari instead. Indiana's first 7 possessions were practically a drill tape. 7 makes, no turnovers, tempo set to fast forward. McDonald drilled a mid-range pull-up, then stole a lazy pass and fed Mitchell for a corner 3. Next trip down, she knifed through the lane, drew both posts, and gift-wrapped a wide-open layup for Lexi Hull. By the time the Wings called their first timeout, the Fever led 19-5, and McDonald was a perfect 4 for 4. Dallas's scouting notes about slow the pace, pack the paint on Boston were suddenly worthless.
I think the biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen.
All that space McDonald created turned into breathing room for Aaliyah Boston. She caught early seals on the left block, spun baseline before the double could arrive, and cashed 3 quick buckets off glass. On defense, she bodied Tierra McCowan, boxed out Natasha Howard, and sprinted rim to rim like a 6'5" guard, forcing Dallas to pick her up earlier than they wanted. When Boston wasn't finishing, she was pinging the ball back out, and the Fever's inside-out rhythm looked like a brand new offense. At quarter's end, Indiana 33, Dallas 13, a 20-point haymaker no one saw coming. Dallas regrouped behind Bueckers' unflappable cool.
We'll start Aari today. We'll start her and bring Sid off the bench a little bit. I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does.
The rookie shook off an 0 for 3 start, erupted with a catch-and-shoot triple, then threaded a no-look dime through 2 defenders to Howard for an and 1. Indiana's cushion shrank to 12, then 10, then 8. Bueckers finished the half with 15 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 0 turnovers, a clinic that screamed future MVP. Yet Indiana refused to blink because Mitchell refused to disappear.
Charles can't finish.
Gotta finish that.
Oh, beautiful pass. McDonald counted in 1.
She counterpunched with floaters off stagger screens, pump-faked Arke Ogumbawal into foul trouble, and closed the half by banking a runner at the horn. Fever up 52-44. Upset, still alive. The third quarter turned into pure trench warfare. Howard bullied her way to back-to-back buckets, Bueckers buried a transition 3, and suddenly the deficit was 5. This is where Indiana had cratered without Clark the night before. Pace slowed, decision-making disintegrated.
Paige is just such a smart player. She reads defenses well. She knows how to pick you apart. And so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where she is at all times. And also she does a great job of...
White took a risk. She yanked McDonald for a 2-minute breather and told Mitchell, "It's yours. Go win it." Mitchell delivered a masterclass in controlled aggression. She snaked around a screen, nailed a step back, then whipped a skip pass to Hull for a corner triple. Next play, she drew a switch on McCowan, blew by the center, and fed Boston for a hammer dunk that reignited the Fever bench. Momentum reclaimed. Still, Dallas kept coming. Beckers hit a moon ball fade away. Then Howard swatted Boston and sprinted for a layup the other way. 5 minutes left, scoreboard read 75-70. Cue Mitchell's takeover, hesitation, cross left Walker Kimbrough spinning, swish. High pick and roll, pocket pass to Smith for 2. Next trip, a pull-up 3 with the shot clock blinking. Mitchell's outburst pushed her past 30 points and pushed the Wings into desperation mode. They trapped hard at half court. Mitchell slipped the double, found McDonald streaking, and Airy finished plus the foul. Indiana's lead back to 9 entering the fourth. Clutch time belonged to Boston. With 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining and the Fever clinging to an 88-84 edge, she stonewalled Howard on a post-up, snagged the rebound, then outran everyone for a transition layup off Mitchell's hit-ahead. Next Dallas possession, Boston anticipated the backdoor cut, flicked the pass away, and Indiana milked 20 seconds before Mitchell buried a dagger elbow jumper. The Wings never got closer than 6 again. Final horn, Fever 94, Wings 86. White's 100th career win came on the back half of a brutal back-to-back without her generational rookie, against a team convinced the outcome was pre-written. In the post-game presser, Boston stepped to the mic, smiled at a sea of Indiana jerseys sprinkled through the lower bowl, and delivered 6 words that snapped every reporter to attention. Every game is a home game. It wasn't bravado. It was a statement of fact backed by the noise those traveling fans generated all night. Asked to explain, she shrugged. People show up for one player and leave loving the whole team. Mitchell echoed her moments later, saying the road support lets us attack downhill because the energy never dips. Their confidence sounded earned, not borrowed. The standings now read 8-8, third in the East, 2 games behind Atlanta and 4 behind juggernaut New York. More important, Indiana just proved to the league and to itself that it can manufacture offense, composure, and crunch time defense without Clark's 20-plus points and playmaking gravity. McDonald's speed unlocked Boston. Mitchell's shot-making unlocked everyone. White's willingness to tinker unlocked a blueprint. Opponents can no longer predict. When Clark returns, and team officials say that could be as soon as the Commissioner's Cup date with Minnesota, the Fever won't merely plug her back in. They'll add her to a foundation that suddenly looks playoff tough. So jot it down. July 1st, 2025, American Airlines Center, the night a patched-together Fever roster walked into a would-be trap and walked out with a statement. They did it by starting 7 for 7, by weathering Becker's history-making brilliance, by leaning on Mitchell's 32 and Boston's 21, and by trusting fans who traveled 1,000 miles to turn an NBA arena into Gainbridge Fieldhouse South. Every game is a home game isn't just a clever line, it's the mantra of a franchise that now believes its ceiling is nowhere near the 8-8 line. And when the league's biggest star rejoins a team that no longer needs her to survive, the WNBA's balance of power might tilt in a direction nobody dared predict at tip-off. That's the kind of plot twist 20,049 went home buzzing about, and the kind that makes the rematch with Clark healthy. Appointment viewing for anyone who cares where women's hoops heads next.